Hi, welcome to the podcast. I am Joe Posnanski, and with me is Michael Schur. Michael, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Joe.
You are so welcome. This is another exciting episode of our baseball card extravaganza, where we raise money for ALS, and we have a guest. We promised people on the last podcast that we would have some special guests coming up, and
right.
we have as special a guest as you could possibly have. Our good friend Tom Haberstroh is with us. Tom, welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is always one of the great joys of my life is coming and join with you guys and open up some pack of cards for ALS awareness. This is
Tom.
great.
Let me ask you something. Is your official title currently Portland Trail Blazers stat guru Tom Haberstroh? Is that how we should refer to you?
Is that yeah?
It is now. It is
okay.
now.
Great.
I think you have minted it. It is stats guru / analytics insider / they just come up with inane things for me to look up on the show on the broadcast. So Kevin Calabro, who's the voice of the Blazers, who used to do the Seattle Supersonics. So I hope we open up some Sonics cards. He used to be the voice of the Sonics, and so he just always, and he's from Indiana. He's got a lot of eclectic interests. So whenever we're on the show, there's always a moment of, hey, I wonder what Tom can dig up on this random topic. And so random topic digger upper is also what I do.
That's pretty good. I might go with that.
I honestly want this job for Mike and I for a baseball broadcast. Don't you think, Mike? And when we're not like official or anything, we should just be like the Red Sox should just be doing something, and they would just suddenly go, gee, I wonder when the last time the Red Sox scored 6 runs in, whatever. And instead of turning to somebody who actually knows, they turn to us and we just make something up.
If you don't have League Pass, NBA League Pass, and by the way, if you don't, what's wrong with you? Because NBA League Pass is the greatest bargain in sports fandom, in my opinion. It is a true joy, especially out here on the West Coast, to watch a late game like a Blazers Atlanta Hawks game that starts at 7:30 p.m. on the West Coast, and then somewhere in the middle of the second quarter, suddenly Tom Haberstroh is on your TV, and the Blazers are up 31-28, and Tom is telling you about how Toumani Camara is the first Belgian player to have 12 or more points in the first quarter of a game in NBA history, and it is an endless delight. It is so fun to just have suddenly there's Tom just telling you the weirdest possible thing that you could ever understand from the game. It's truly a joy in my life. I watch a lot of the NBA, as you both know, and in the late window out here on the West Coast, I will immediately forego any Lakers game because who cares? Most Clippers games until recently because who cares? I will always try to find Portland on the West Coast because I know that I'm going to get 2 weird doses of Tom Haberstroh coming at me over the course of 2.5 hours.
And my favorite part of all of it is that he's sitting in like this little room at the top of his house in Charlotte, North Carolina, looking this stuff up.
He is not in the booth. He's not on the court. No. He's not holding a microphone as the team is in a timeout. He's just in a weird, nebulous, liminal space between the internet and your television. And he's telling you the weirdest possible stats. And it's truly wonderful.
It's the best.
Calabro calls it the ether. So, Tom, coming from the ether, what do you got for us? And I'll be like, did you know that Toumani Camara has run 58 miles on defense this season? That leads all players. And they'll be like, I did not know that, and I'm so glad you just blessed us with that knowledge.
As long as we're here, before we get started, and we're going to explain how our ongoing card opening ALS research money fundraiser works, if you don't know already. But before we do that, give us a 1-minute state of the NBA, Trailblazers centric or not. Like what are the headlines for you?
Centric. I want a state of the NBA.
Yeah, give us we're basically halfway through the season here. I have a lot of questions for you, which will come up as we open these cards about specific teams, you might imagine. But like, what are your 3 big Haberstroh headlines
Yes.
The Wemby takeover is here. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So Victor Wembanyama, who's 7'7", I refuse to conform to the fact that the NBA and the Spurs currently list him at 7'5". I will not acknowledge that.
You've always been a truther on this, and I appreciate that because I am too.
He stood next to Shaq and he towered over him, towered. Look down, and Shaq is like, "Oh, hello." You know the old Muggsy Bogues. Shout out to Muggsy Bogues. I got my Wake Forest Muggsy Bogues here.
Yes, very nice.
That classic photo of Manute Bol and Muggsy on the Washington Bullets. That's what Wemby turns power forwards into. Shaq is looking up. Chet Holmgren. So this is one of my storylines. Is the Thunder are the number 1 team in the NBA by a mile, but there's this weird David versus Goliath happening where the Spurs, who weren't even projected to make the playoffs this year, are now the second best team in the Western Conference, led by Victor Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox. And Wemby and the Spurs have the Thunder's number. And so normally when a team is barreling towards 75 wins, it's just like, all right, so fast forward to the finals and then we can watch whoever maybe can take them down. No, the drama of the NBA right now is that Wemby and the Spurs have beaten the Thunder 3 out of 4 times. Yeah. And it's just epic television. Chet Holmgren, who went to Gonzaga, is 7 feet, 112 pounds. Right. And he and Wemby are just these stick figures that are giants. They're like praying mantises out there. And they're so good at basketball. Like they can do anything on a court. And so if I can beg anyone to watch NBA, it's watch the Thunder versus the Spurs. Chet Holmgren is awesome and Wemby is awesome.
Joe and I, you might know, wrote a book about fandom. It's coming out May 19th. It's called Big Fan. You can pre-order it now. One of the events that I traveled to investigate the concept of fandom was I flew to New York and I went to see Wemby play the Nets with my son. And I write a long chapter in the book about Wemby and about my fandom of Wemby and how this has changed my concept of fandom, all sorts of stuff. But one of the things I wrote about in the book is how tall he is and the debate about how tall he is. And one of the pieces of evidence I cited is that there was a picture, I believe, from the Paris Olympics that went viral, which was Wemby, or maybe I can't remember what event it was, but it was Wemby talking to Cameron Brink of the WNBA, formerly of Stanford, I believe. And Cameron Brink is like 6'4", and there was a photo of the two of them talking, which was like went viral just in part because they're both like young and great athletically and attractive people. And in the photo, which you can see online, Cameron Brink, I wrote, was looking at Wemby with the same neck angle that a tourist uses in London to look at Big Ben. Like her neck. She's one of the taller players in the W, and she's looking up at him like like you're a child looking at a parent. And and there are a lot of those that you can use to triangulate his height. He is currently listed, I think, on Basketball Reference as 7'4". That's a joke. What are we doing? This is just straight up agitprop.
Do we have this in baseball? Because in basketball, it's a thing that players will. We have. My whole life was always trying to be 6 feet tall because I'm 5'11 3/4, and my brothers are 6'2" and 6'3". So they always remind me that I'm not 6 feet tall. I always want to be rounding up. NBA players who are 7 feet and taller want to round down.
Round down, yep.
Yeah, because they don't want to be pigeonholed as a lumbering big man.
Durant is still listed at 6'10" in places. There are guys who are very clearly 7-footers who are listed at 6'10", 6'10 and a half.
It's the opposite in baseball. Yeah. Baseball people like Dustin Pedroia just kept insisting.
Yeah, they go up. Yeah, Pedroia was like 5'7 and a half. It's like,
he was. Yeah, he was 5'3".
You know what's interesting in football? I think it's about weight more than anything else. You'll see guys listed at like 265 or whatever, and you're like, that guy's 300 pounds if he's an ounce. Like,
By the way, what did we call the Wemby? We have a series of chapters like the Wemby chapter where we went and found something that is just. I think originally we called it things that should not exist in the universe, but I think we changed it to something else.
How is this possible, right?
How is this possible?
Yeah, there's 5 mini chapters in the book that under the headline, How is this possible? And it's total freaks of nature. It's Wembanyama Joe wrote about Alcaraz. What else? What are the other three? My friend Megan, who's really good at crossword puzzles.
Just my friend Megan is.
Yeah.
Okay, so headline number 1 of the NBA halfway through the season: the Wembanyama takeover is here. Drama in the Western Conference. Will the Spurs take down the Thunder? What's number 2?
What's number 2?
Maybe the Celtics are better without Jason Tatum. It's a weird
thing. That's not going to fit today.
Bill Simmons coined the Ewing theory, which is that teams without a particular star, doesn't happen all the time, without that player might be better. Named after, of course, Patrick Ewing when the Knicks went to the NBA Finals.
It should have been named after Ralph Sampson.
No, it very, very clearly should have been named after Alex Rodriguez.
Later. Yeah, but I'm saying that those guys came earlier. I'm saying,
fine.
But Sampson was the one that was the 2-time player of the year, 3-time player of the year, and then he left, and then they went to the Final Four the year after he left.
And the Rockets won 2 titles with Hakeem Olajuwon. Yeah.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say, Mike, because this is near and dear to our hearts, is Nomar, because that was a thing where we were heartbroken to watch Nomar get traded for Doug Mickavich and Orlando Cabrera. And I remember just the whole Red Sox fan base just had a real torrent, twisted emotions about it all because he's Nomar, right? And then it was kind of at this point where it was headed towards a separation, and we knew that he wasn't himself and he was disgruntled. And so we just didn't realize that we were this close to winning the World Series. And Mickavich and Orlando Cabrera were amazing. And so I don't think we never said that trading Nomar was the thing that changed everything for us. But I do remember thinking, oh, what happens if we win without Nomar? What happens?
I don't think it's an exact fit, by the way. I mean, I think that's right that they won without Nomar, but I don't think that losing Nomar was the essence of the.
I kind of disagree.
Yeah, I know you do.
And you might not know this, but I am a Red Sox fan, and I watched that team fairly closely. It's come up once or twice.
Yeah.
The thing about him at that time was there was a vibes problem in the clubhouse, and there was a famous game where and this was not fair. He sat out against the Yankees in the game where Jeter crashed into the stands and busted his lip and whatever, and he had the day off. They gave him a day off Tito gave him a day off that day, and he didn't come into the game, even though in the aftermath it came out that he had volunteered to go into the game. He had said, put me in. We're in extra innings. I'll go into the game. But he got blamed for that. And there were all these shots of him sitting on the bench as the teams were slugging it out or whatever. But the thing about that team was they had one tremendous flaw, and it was defense. And his defensive short was pretty rough. And the second Cabrera came in and just started fielding and throwing well on routine grounders, a lot changed, especially for the pitching staff. So it kind of maybe is the reason, and I love him and I will always love him. And I saw him hit 3 homers at Fenway on his birthday, and it was one of the greatest live viewing experiences of my life, but it kind of was him. However, better without Jason Tatum, better is what you're saying. They won 60 plus games 2 years in a row with him. They're going to win 52 if they're lucky this year. I don't think better is the right adjective.
It might not be. There's a kind of a debate going on, is watching the second best offense in the NBA without Jason Tatum and just being like, wow, Joe Mazzulla is a mad genius.
Yeah, to me, that's the headline. The headline for Celtics fans is we've been kind of wondering for a couple of years, is he actually a good coach, or are they just really good at shooting threes? He's a really good coach, man. Did you see the inbounds play he ran against Brooklyn 2 nights ago?
Oh yeah.
This is insane. Just very, very briefly. Then I promise we're going to open baseball cards and raise money. The Celtics are down 3 to the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn with 4 seconds left. They set up for the out of bounds play. Mazzulla makes a late sub, sends Hugo Gonzalez, a 19-year-old from Spain, into the game. Who, this is he switches someone out. He switches Amari Williams out, maybe throws Hugo in there. They run a play where Hugo gets wide open in the corner with no one around him for a final game time 3-point shot. He drills the shot. They go to double overtime and win the game. And it was and Scalabrine was saying in the broadcast, I've literally never seen that. I've never seen a coach make a last second substitution, change the play, and then have the guy that he subbed in get a wide open corner three with force, the only shot that can tie the game basically and save the game. And it was one of 50 data points from the first half of the season where you're like, oh, this dude really, really knows what he's doing and is a really good coach.
Yeah. And he's so funny in press conferences too.
So funny.
He's I don't know. Does he know that he's
this is
psycho?
a huge debate.
Like he doesn't, he just doesn't have the normal pleasantries that you would have at a press conference. And so he just doesn't care.
He's from the Bill Belichick school of press conferences, which is to say everything he does makes everyone else feel awkward and weird. Like they don't want to be there. There was a game they lost to the Raptors on a last-second floater by Siakam a couple of weeks ago. And Siakam set there was an illegal screen set in order to get Siakam the ball on the inbounds play. And the press conference went like this. They were like, what did you see on that final play? And Mazzulla said, illegal screen. And they were like, did you change your defense there? And he said, illegal screen. And they were like, why was Siakam open there? And he said, illegal screen. They asked him 6 questions. He said
also not about the play. They said,
they asked him questions
what would you
about
like
things,
to see for the next game? Illegal screen.
How does this affect you going forward? Illegal screen. Like that's all he said. He said it 6 times, then he got up and walked away. And it was magical. It was wonderful. He's a true psychopath. And it's kind of fun to have a true psychopath coaching your team.
When you're winning. Yeah. It's fun when you're winning. All right. Before you give us your third thing, well, in fact, I'm gonna stop the third because I get a question in. My question for you is, are the Cavaliers just a complete mess? What the heck is going on with Cleveland?
Yeah, it would be a storybook finish if LeBron got traded to the Cavs and had his last hurrah. But they also need some veteran toughness in there and someone who's been there before, because they got embarrassed in the playoffs for the second year in a row. And they way undershot what they were supposed to be doing as a 60-win team last year, number 1 seed, and they didn't do anything in the postseason. And this is the MO of the Cavs post LeBron is they're really good in the regular season, but every single time we talk ourselves into the Cavs, they're just not playoff tested. And Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland are super small in the backcourt. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, they are big, they're long, but they're also on the softer end of big men. They get beat up pretty a lot in the postseason. So for the Cavs, if LeBron, I mean, that's a whole nother thing. But if LeBron wants to have this kind of magical storybook ending, I don't know if you guys caught the Lakers Baxter Holmes manifesto about the Jeannie Buss family and the sale to Walter. But LeBron, it feels like he's not long for LA, or at least the Lakers would want to move on. And so he's on an expiring contract. He has a no trade clause, so he can kind of dictate where he goes. And I would love to see him finish things out. But as you know, with LeBron, it's never quite that simple. And I think he's going to want a farewell tour. I don't think he's hanging it up this year.
Let's face it, he should have done this in the offseason last year. He should have gone back to Cleveland. Like they were one superstar story short of making a real run last year, and him going after they got Luka, he should have been like, all right, this is your team, goodbye. And he should have gone back to Cleveland. It should be his final year, and he should be in Cleveland in a super weak Eastern Conference with a really good chance to win.
And the best possible scenario for a farewell tour. I mean, the best. You're in Cleveland. You'll
be a hero.
A hero. Just an absolute hero. Yeah.
All right, number 3, Tom. What do we got?
Boy, you're going to give him one more.
That's it. I just said the whole. I can just as the thing is LeBron and the Lakers is super awkward. Austin Reeves is this kid from Arkansas who might be a better golfer than basketball player, and he's this savant, and he's injured right now. But Luka, it's his team clearly, and the three of them are terrible together. Like
terrible. It's so great. It's so great.
They have a losing point differential. Yeah. Negative point differential when 3 of the biggest stars in the NBA are on the floor together. LeBron is averaging 25, 7, and 7 every year. Yep. And same with Austin Reeves, who came out of nowhere, undrafted kid, and ascended to a guy who's like, oh, is he as good as LeBron and Luka? But when they get powers combined, it's worse than the Lakers when they had Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, and Kobe, where everyone was, the Sports Illustrated cover, the infamous Sports Illustrated cover, and then they just fell flat on their face. This Lakers team, they're fifth in the West, but only because they have guys in and out of the lineup. If they had all three of them in the lineup, they might be a 500 team.
Can I just say, as a Celtics fan, there's nothing more wonderful in the world than looking at a box score and seeing that Luka had like 43 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists, was 21 of 23 from the line because he complains on every single drive that he ever makes, and had like, a 45-point triple-double, and that he was minus 13 for the game, and they lost to the Hornets by 17 points. It's just the best. It makes me so endlessly happy that the better he plays, somehow the worse the team is. Let me do 3.1 special bonus thing.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out, and this is relating to you two gentlemen here. Watch out for the Charlotte Hornets.
I was just going to say,
I'm in.
Watch out for the Charlotte Hornets. Are so fun to watch. Yep. They're such a great League Pass team. They are sneaky good. The East is a mess. There is a huge possibility in my mind. I'm calling it right now in late January that the Hornets are like the 8 seed or something, that they get out of the play-in and then they play like Detroit or Boston in round 1 and just absolutely sweep them off the court and start making a run. I'm telling you right now, if you haven't watched any Charlotte Hornets basketball this year, and you haven't, no one listening to this has watched a single Charlotte Hornets game, but the Charlotte Hornets
get
on the bandwagon now. This is like that you're watching it happen in real time. The Charlotte Hornets are becoming a exciting, fun team, and everyone in the team is like 20 years old. They're all you've never heard of any of them. They are super fun to watch.
I agree. They are fun. Definitely some fun going on. All right.
I just real quick on that, Joe.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to bring up Con Knipple and the Charlotte Hornets, but I thought that Mike would accuse us of being such blatant homers.
No, Mike's all in on the Hornets.
I am all in on the Hornets, man. The Hornets are great. I love them.
Let's go.
But it is. I mean, they are fun, and it has been great here because they have not only not been fun, they've been so dismal for like a decade of just like literally you just turn your brain off. Nobody in town even cares, And now they're fun. They're really, really fun, and
they're the Sacramento Kings of 3 years ago or whenever it was, when it was suddenly like, wait, they're not only winning, they're also fun to watch. Like that was they've taken that mantle, and the Kings are right back where they always are, which is Nowheresville. All right, let's open some cards.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this. So it's so great to have Tom with us here, not only for his basketball and baseball expertise that he's going to give us, but this is a charity dear and dear to his heart. We are raising money for Team Gleason. The incredible folks started the foundation started by Steve Gleason, former NBA player, famously blocked the punt right after.
NFL, you said NBA player.
And an NFL player. That's what I meant. If he had blocked a punt as an NBA player, that would have been
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Blocked the punt in the Superdome, the first game back in the Superdome after Hurricane Katrina. Just an incredible person. Started this foundation to really support people with ALS. That is what Team Gleason does. They pay for equipment and research to make lives better. Like, we have in the past helped people who are researching, trying to find a cure for ALS, and this with Team Gleason, it's more specific to helping people with ALS. It's an incredible group. You can donate to Team Gleason at teamgleason.org/podcast. And if you do donate, Mike, tell them what they get.
All right, so here's the deal. We're asking for donations of $25, but also anything you can spare would be great. If you donate at that link, teamgleason.org/podcast, your name will be entered in a raffle.
Yep.
And after we finish this month or so of opening cards of all different kinds, what you'll do is you'll send us your favorite team, your favorite players, anybody you want.
You do that automatically.
You do that automatically.
When you donate, you will be given a chance to put your favorite team, favorite player, anything message you want to send us.
We will pick at random at least 5 winners and likely many more than 5 winners. And we will send you every single card from your favorite teams. We'll send you a bunch of unopened packs of cards. We'll send you autographed books and merchandise. We'll send you whatever you want. We'll just send you whatever you want.
Mike at the last podcast said if you hate the Yankees, he will go on video and tear up Yankee, like Aaron Judge cards.
I'll tear up expensive Yankee cards on camera if you want me to.
We will do it live. Yeah, we'll do it live.
So you'll get a giant box full of amazing, fun stuff representing your favorite teams. You can also, by the way, say like, I like the Brewers and the Padres and the Houston Texans, but my kids like these teams and my cousin likes these. You can say as much as you want, and we'll send you all this stuff. The one caveat here is if we happen to pull a very expensive card, like last year, I happened to pull a numbered Tom Brady rookie that was separately auctioned off and to myself, and and that money also went to the charity we were raising money for. So we reserve the right to take super special cards and use them to make even more money for Team Gleason. But generally speaking, if you're one of our winners, you'll get a whole mess of fun stuff to
and the only cards that we're going to hold back are the really expensive ones. So like these cards that we hold back that are worth quite a lot of money, we're not auctioning off every one of them. So you can request, you can say, oh man, like for instance, somebody's sending in a Lou Gehrig used bat card that will have like a little piece of his bat on there. I think I've seen it online for a few $100s. I mean, if you want that, request it. I mean, there's a good chance.
Or ask me to tear it up live on camera.
We are not tearing up the Lou Gehrig card. Not as we raise money for ALS. What is wrong with you?
Donate the equivalent amount of money.
What if tearing up the Lou Gehrig card raises more money for ALS?
That's true. No, that's fair.
If
that happens, then I would say that would be worth it. But yes, no, we will be doing. I promise you will get amazing stuff. Like the one thing that we do is we do not. It's why it takes us months and months to send stuff out, because we spend a lot of effort making these packages really, really fun and cool. And we will get autographed copies of our books, and Tom always donates some fun stuff. So it'll be great. So teamgleason.org/podcast. We are trying to raise $100,000. And so go there, donate as much as you can. We are super grateful. And now let's open up some cards.
Let's do it. What are you opening today, Joe?
All right, so I've got a couple of things that I'm going to open, but since Tom is here, I got this weird box of Bowman Chrome College basketball cards.
Oh, wow.
Yep, the U. So I'm going to open those up and have Tom get all excited when I open up the big Cooper Flagg card. Is Cooper Flagg the big card in this one, Mike?
Yeah, Cooper Flagg. Well, it depends on, there's Cooper Flagg.
Like the right Cooper Flagg, yeah.
Yes. There's also going to be, Paige Becker's cards and Sarah Strong from the world champion UConn Huskies. Go Huskies.
World champion? They didn't play anybody outside.
Oh, okay. They're world champions.
World champions.
And also from that set, there's going to be a bunch of guys. I don't know how deep they go. I don't know if it's the whole roster, but the incoming crop of rookies next year, as Tom can attest, is maybe the best draft class on paper in history. The AJ Devanta draft class. So there might be some of those guys. There's going to be a lot of cool players in there.
It's going to be cool players. And are you going to wait to tell us what you're going to open?
Well, I'm going to open. So I bought a large number, an embarrassing number of these 2017-2018 Panini Prisms.
Look at these.
Kyrie on the front.
Celtics Kyrie, just to give you an idea where we are.
Celtics Kyrie. Now,
what a success that was.
The reason I did this is because this is Jason Tatum's rookie year.
Yes.
So that's what we're hunting today. Is a Jason Tatum rookie. There are every year. There's a lot of good rookies in these boxes. This is also De'Aaron Fox's rookie, OG Anunoby, Bam,
Donovan Mitchell,
Jared Allen,
the great John Collins from Wake Forest University.
That's right.
Malik Monk, Lauri Markkanen. If you're a Derek White fan, there's a Derek White rookie in here, so that's what we're hunting. Oh, and of course, Kyle Kuzma and Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball drafted by the Lakers above Jason Tatum.
This is so exciting. And in addition to that, I am also going to open these Fanatics 2025 Topps update cards just to give us a little baseball flair. That
right. Who's going first? You want me to go first? You want to go first?
Why don't you go first? Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Let's get it started. Let's just pop the Tatum right away. Right
away. First up, of course, is the great Rodney Hood.
Oh, look at that.
Former Trailblazer Rodney Hood, Cleveland Cavalier.
Rodney Hood. Where did Rodney Hood go to school?
Rodney Hood, tell us.
It doesn't say on the
We
back.
know where Rodney Rogers went to school.
We sure do. R.I.P. Rodney Rogers. What a great representative of the college.
Yes.
Speaking of UConn, Rudy Gay.
Rudy Gay.
Oh, there you go.
Rudy Gay. I thought Rudy Gay was going to be a really good pro. I thought his ceiling was higher than he ever maybe achieved. Maybe it's
his greatest deficiency was that he came after LeBron, and everyone was searching for the next LeBron, and he just had this athletic prototype at UConn where it was like, maybe that's the guy. And of course, he's not the playmaker that LeBron was, but I always felt like he was the not Vince Carter was actually really good, but I always felt bad for the baby Jordans that came through and never was.
Yeah,
it's a good question. How many players through the years? This is more true, I think, of the NBA than any other sport. How many players through the years have been ruined by being the next Bird, the next Magic, the next Michael, the next LeBron? It feels like that always puts this really undue, not just pressure on them, but suddenly it's like, if they're a good player, that's not good enough. You're not the next, Bird. I mean, I wondered about that mostly for the NBA.
Yeah, Adam Morrison comes to mind as like the next Dirk, just the next tall white guy shooter. And we do this all the time in the NBA where it's like, oh, Con Knipple kind of reminds me of JJ Redick. I'm like, no, that's not. They're not the same. They're not the same. So I think you also have when Andrea Bargnani came in, you had a lot of that with Dirk Nowitzki too. So right. I'm doing the whole thing.
By the way, Rodney Hood Duke is the answer.
Oh, Duke.
Here's Emergent. That was one of the special cards here. John Collins, Emergent.
Emergent,
John Collins. Okay, so Tom is going to donate just to get that card right there.
Yeah.
This is a funny thing about the Prism set is they also have coach cards. So you get a Brett Brown.
For all the Trust the Process listeners out there, you can have your very own Brett Brown basketball card.
Do these card companies realize just what a disappointment it is to pull a manager or coach card from any set? Do they just not care that there's never been anybody who has ever been going through their thing and got a Sparky Anderson finally,
thank God. John McNamara. Here's our first truly special card. This is Harry Giles of the Kings.
Also Duke. Winston-Salem's finest, Harry Giles.
Wearing that is a player worn, not game worn, but player worn patch.
Difference being he just wore it in practice?
No, the difference is they have these events where these guys go and they put on literally 20 jerseys.
20
they just
different
put
jerseys.
them on. Yeah. And then they're documented as having worn them. And then they cut them up into little pieces and put the patches in the cards.
That's not as good.
Not creepy at all, by the way.
No, not weird. Not weird.
All right, there's only 4 cards in these packs, so
I've got 4. Mine also have only 4 cards, and so we start off with Texas's Justice Carlton. Okay. No thoughts on that. Then we've got this is a little fancier one. Missouri's Enor Boateng. Okay. Prospect at all? No? Anybody?
Don't know.
Yep. Alabama's Aiden Sherrill. So we're gonna get a lot of these kinds of cards.
Isn't it weird when schools that are you think of as football schools suddenly get good at basketball or vice versa?
Very weird. Yeah. What about vice versa? What about Indiana?
Indiana, number 1 all time.
Weird.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
But when Alabama got good at basketball, it's always what? Alabama's good, or Florida. When Florida is good at basketball, it always confuses me.
Here's Duke's Con Knipple.
Con Knipple. There he is.
Yep. So there you go. You got that.
Charlotte Hornets, immediate Charlotte Hornets legend Con Knippel.
How do we feel about spelling the name Con like that?
Well, he has like 17 brothers, and they all start with K. And
Hey,
it's this amazing little family from Milwaukee. And it was funny because they went to Milwaukee for a road trip, and the Knippel family said, "Hey, why don't you come over to our house and I'll cook?" And they took a team dinner photo at the Knippel family house in their kitchen, and the world went bonkers. They just loved it. It's like, oh, how sweet that they invited the NBA team, and they all had this like big potluck dinner or whatever. And I was like, that's just normal stuff that happens in America. I would hope that this is a normal thing. It's like, hey, come on over for dinner. We'll cook you some pot roast, and we're all good. And it went viral, like a family photo of the team photo at the Con Knippel household in Milwaukee, which is great.
Tom, right now, you have to vote right now at this moment.
It's Knippel,
right? It is. It's Rookie of the Year. It's Con Knippel. It's not Rookie of the Year flag.
That's Rookie of the Year Con Knippel right there that you're holding.
Yes.
Wow.
I 100% agree. I mean, Cooper Flag, the quote that came out the other day was by an opposing coach was better than advertised. And I think that's probably true of Cooper Flag. But look at the numbers and watch them play. Con Knippel's the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. All right. Keep in mind, Con Knippel's a year and a half older than Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag's still like 12 years old. So there's that, right? This is not the best future award. This is best rookie season, and it's Con Knippel.
Yeah, I just think it makes the Con Knippel card that much more valuable for those Charlotte Hornets.
That's a great poll. That's a great poll, Joe. You're already in. You're done.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Perfect.
Is it as good though as a 2017 Marcin Gortat? I don't think it is.
Do you guys know what a Gortat screen is?
No.
So a Gortat screen is when the big man boxes out his own man as your point guard is driving into the lane. It's called the Gortat. And it's because when John Wall used to come downhill, he would just start boxing out his big man prematurely and be like, I'm just getting ready for the rebound. And that's a Gortat screen, is you screen your big man to pave the way for your point guard to come down the lane. And referees almost never call it, but it's 100% illegal.
I was about to say.
It's not legal whatsoever, but Marcin Gortat became famous for the Gortat screen.
I love it. All right, what do you got, Mike?
I got Eric Gordon.
Oh, okay.
Indiana's finest, Eric Gordon, famously played with Anthony Davis before they became it was always a big debate was whether the Pelicans went too fast, too quickly to build around Anthony Davis before he hit his prime. I'm always the advocate of like, go for it. Like always when you got an Anthony Davis, young Anthony Davis, like right now with Cooper Flag and Victor Wembanyama, go for it.
Yeah. 100%. That's why I was pro De'Aaron Fox trade.
Me too.
Like, what's the timeline? It's like, who cares? He's 7'7", and he's no one's ever played like him before. Get a point guard, get a shooting guard, get everything. Speaking of guys who were drafted before Jason Tatum, here's Markelle Fultz.
Wow.
What happened to Markelle Fultz? I know that he had the issue.
Yeah, thoracic whatever syndrome with his shoulder that no one really knew what was going on. But the funny thing about Markelle Fultz is he was drafted #1 overall by the Philadelphia 76ers. Brian Colangelo traded up after the Sam Hinkie era. Yeah. The Sam Hinkie regime collapsed. Of course, they were tanking to try to get a Jason Tatum. But what happened was Brian Colangelo at #3 was like, I really believe in Markelle Fultz. I'm going to trade a future first-round pick to get Markelle at #1, and the Celtics were like, oh, we think Jason Tatum's better. We'll go take Jason Tatum at #3, and the rest is history.
And who was right, would you say?
I would say that's a close call.
His number just retired last night, Derrick Rose.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Knicks Derrick Rose. And finally, a Steph Curry fundamentals card.
Oh, very nice.
Ooh,
look at that.
Pull. Yeah.
Very nice. That's fundamentals. That's awesome.
Does that mean we're going to get a Tim Duncan fundamentals card just because he is the big fundamental?
His card will be larger than the other. It will be a big fundamentals card.
It'll be a big fundamental card. All right, we got Raven Johnson, South Carolina, right there. What do you got? Pitts, Braden Smith.
Hey, Braden, my cousin's name is Braden. Nice. And before it became cool.
Before it became cool. Do you have a cousin named Cannon for Cannon Catchings?
No, but he will have played with AJ DeBonsa, and I wonder if the Utah Jazz get the #2 overall pick will AJ DeBonta pull like an Eli Manning, John Elway type thing and just say like, I want to go play for Utah? And I don't think, I think he might stiff arm whoever's at number 1 overall and say, I want to go play at Utah, which might be the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah. Good. Utah's sneaky set up well, I think. Like good coach, like some building some good stuff out there, and they're gonna have a top 4 pick almost certainly. So
for sure.
Yeah. And then Jordan Lee from Texas. I've got a lot of the Texas team already there. So there we go. Mike.
Right, here we go. This is the fun part about opening 10-year-old boxes of Prisms. There's LeBron on the Cavs.
Oh, look at that.
I do like those jerseys, Joe.
Yeah,
the orange
I do
Cleveland jerseys, those are classic.
I have not liked what they have done with the jersey. I'm going to be honest with you. I want more old school.
Here's your Dirk fundamentals card.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
By the way, great on Amazon. So he's on the Amazon team, the broadcast, and they're so good. Steve Nash, Dirk, Giannis Haslam, D Wade. It's a great broadcasting team, and they tell great stories. But they have this like big, amazing, like state-of-the-art studio that looks like a basketball court, and they run plays and they teach you about the game, which is such a breath of fresh air after all of the just not great coverage we've had from ESPN and the like over the last decade or plus.
Yeah. They can
it's so
demonstrate
good. It's so much
demonstrate
fun.
a Gorsat screen.
100%. I want you know what you and I we can make this our producer hats on and say, hey, next episode we're gonna get a Gortat screen.
Show me.
Next to the nose.
Another fun thing about these sets is, in addition to coach cards, you also get these draft night cards where they show the rookies in their draft night garb. So here's Justin Patton in like
that is nice
black suit with like a boutonniere. What is that on his lapel there? Yeah, it looks like a boutonniere maybe.
That looks like a boutonniere.
Yeah, like he's going to prom. All right, so they have in these blaster boxes, they have these green Pulsar parallels. So you get like here's the Wiggins fundamentals card, but it's the green version. Green.
Oh, look at that!
So, like you can see it reflecting. It's a little refractor there.
Yeah.
And here's the first like very special card. Really, is the green Pulsar Bam rookie.
Ooh.
Now, as a dedicated dyed-in-the-wool Miami Heat hater,
yes,
Bam's regression has also been really fun to watch this year.
Yeah,
I could always count on him to sort of go sort of limp in the playoffs. That was like that's a fun thing I get to watch every year. But now he's doing it in the regular season. What's going on there? Is it just like, okay, let me say this. Spoelstra completely, I started watching that team as I do every year. I hate watching that team early in the season, and my mind exploded because it was like, this is a different team. The offense is completely different. They're playing completely differently. They're playing with insane pace. It's like the 7 seconds or less team, the Suns team, and they were scoring like 130 points a game. And it's so.
Do you know their offense? Do you know the brilliant thing that Spo is doing with the offense?
No, tell me.
They won't set a screen.
What?
Interesting.
So here's the funny thing about this. Last year, John Morant hated playing for this new coach, Noah LaRoche, who was the assistant that revolutionized the Memphis Grizzlies offense to never draw two to the ball. In other words, they never set a pick and roll because in their minds, they were putting 2 defenders on the ball, which is just bad offense. Like, why would you want to put 2 guys near the ball? That's not good offense. So they just decided, what if we just have this constantly rotating 5-out system where 5 guys are standing by the 3-point line and they just constantly rotate and never get close to each other. And so John Morant hated it so much that they cleaned out the coaching staff and was like, well, we got Ja, so we got to make Ja happy. Well, the Miami Heat were like, we want that guy, assistant coach who did an amazing job with that
He's an international guy, right? Where's he from?
Yeah. Well, Tomas Isolo is the guy who's now the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies, but Noah LaRoche is the assistant that he's not even on the Miami Heat coaching staff. He's a quote unquote consultant to Eric Spoelstra and the coaching staff. And he diagrammed this offense so that Bam Adebayo doesn't have the ball in his hands nearly as much because it's constant movement. Never give it to one guy to have him create. Right. It's just always fill, pass, fill, pass, fill.
Yeah.
And that's why Bam his numbers are way down this year, because he's not the focal point, the hub of the offense anymore.
But also he at least like, you know, a month into the season, he was like shooting 47% from 3 or something. It was insane. And it like every single player on the Heat suddenly was like Rip Hamilton, just like running around in constant circles, and everyone was open, and it was driving me crazy. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to do it again. They're going to completely reinvent their team and take a bunch of scrubs from the G League and turn them into like a 5 seed. And it has settled down a little bit. Like I think teams adjusted to it or whatever, and they just don't have the personnel really to compete at a high level. But it was truly wild to watch. Like it's rare in the NBA. And granted, the only reason I even noticed this is because I hate the Heat so much that I watch them constantly to root for them to lose. But it's very wild to see a coach, like, how many years has Spo been there now? I mean, it's, you know,
he's the longest tenured coach.
Coach. And he just showed up one year and was like, I'm totally changing everything that I've ever done. Like, it's very inspiring. Is he taking over? He took over Team USA basketball, right?
Yep. This will be the first one. This next Olympics will be the first one that he took over for Steve Kerr.
I hate to say this, they could not be in better hands. Like I completely I'm jealous and angry about how good a coach he is. Anyway,
fair. Yeah, there you go. I like it. All right,
that was my guy. When I started reporting in the NBA, it was in Miami when they were, you know, LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh, and he would always grab me off to the side and say like, "Hey, what was that stat you had?" Chris Bosh is more efficient on the left wing than on the right wing on pick and rolls. He goes, "And where did you get that?" And I said, "Synergy Sports." He's like, "I got to talk to my guys." Like, that was a great question. And he really loved the nitty gritty X's and O's, the reporting on the more analytics, sabermetrics type stuff that I would ask. And he just was so blown away by the fact that someone would do their homework and ask a question that it wasn't, "Hey, so tell me about the Rockets and what you're looking to do in the next game," where they just
tough matchup for you guys. How are you going to adjust?
How do you guys adjust?
And I'm like, Ray Allen's way more efficient off the catch than off the dribble. So how do you set up? And he's like, how more efficient is he off the catch? And I'd be like, oh, he's 48% shooting off the catch and 41% off the dribble. And so don't you want the 48 for the 41? And he's just like, I love these questions. So he really geeked out on that stuff. So he's in great hands, or the Team USA is in great hands with this guy.
I love it. All right. Ashton Hardaway. Look at that. That's Penny's kid.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go.
Back in Jen. Hey, Joe, I told you what I want my book to be. And of the legacy players in the NBA.
Legacy players. He wants to write a book about the legacy. I think it's a great idea. Is Billy Richmond III? I guess he's not in the bitch world, but I think he's Billy Richmond II's son. So. We got Ali Zybel. There you go.
Nice.
Nice. There.
World
and
champion.
I like this.
World
it's
champion.
A pep rally. They have pep rally cards in here. So I got 2 of those. I got Boogie Fland pep rally card. Very nice. And then even better, the looks like it's a Robert Wright III pep
famous
rally.
Son of Robert Wright II, right?
Yeah. And grandson of Robert Wright.
Robert Wright himself. That's exactly right.
Robbie Wright. Who could forget?
All right. Mike.
This is a very special pack I just opened.
Oh, I love it.
First of all, you've got a silver prism of Stan Van Gundy. Just
it's going up on the mantle.
Just fantastic. Couldn't be a better photo. Of course, Furkan Korkmaz, who the other day was single-handedly responsible for inspiring Joel Embiid, because he said that
Alperen Şengün was better.
Şengün was the best big man he'd ever play with, and then Embiid went nuclear and just torched him and screamed at him for the entire game. You've got a green prism of Steve Kerr. So there's Steve Kerr.
Very nice. Yeah, that is a special pack.
Steve Kerr, thank you for what you did for Team USA basketball, by the way. That another chapter in the book was I went to the USA-Serbia game in the Paris Olympics.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
But here's the most special card. Here's a game-worn jersey card of Karl Anthony Towns on the wall.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Game-worn.
Game
That's
worn.
pretty cool, yeah. They call this in the hobby, they call this a napkin patch, which is to say it's a one color kind of just like swath of a napkin. So it's ideally for a patch, you want multiple colors in there. You want a little slice of a number or a letter or something, but still cat game worn patch. This, if you're a Timberwolves fan or a Knicks fan, or you're a fan of a team that is currently trying to trade for Karl Anthony Towns, you can request that if you win our raffle.
Very nice. All right, I'm going to switch to a little bit of baseball here. We'll give us a little baseball. Start off with these are update cards. That's a Jackson Jobe for you. Is Jackson Jobe going to be great or not?
I kind of think he is.
I kind of think he's going to be great.
Yeah.
So the update cards come out in the middle of the year. They've got a bunch of debut cards for guys who came up. So you're going to get this is this year, right? These are 25 cards
this coming year. Yeah, I mean this past year.
Yeah, so you're going to get there's some Roman Anthony's and Marcelo Myers in there. If you're a Red Sox fan, there's there's going to be some good
debut there, right?
What's that?
Give me some Nick Kurtz.
Got to be a Nick Kurtz here, doesn't it?
Yeah, it could be Kurtz, sure.
All right, we got this Stars of MLB Pete Crow Armstrong.
There you go.
Wow.
So you know that was an update card because nobody would have called him a Stars of MLB but when the season started. So
that's right.
You got that. You got a little Cody Clemens. Not really too exciting right there.
So we were right the other day. He used to be a catcher. When we
for
said
sure.
That? Yeah.
Yeah, he was a catcher. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We got the Beantown Boys. Look at this. Mike, look at this card. It's the Beantown Boys.
Campbell and Myers, is that who that is?
No, Campbell and Myers. They booked a 1.025 OPS in his first dozen games. How about that?
Now that is a Haberstroh, if I've ever heard one.
We don't want to talk about what happened after that. Actually, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. I don't know why this is in the update set, but there's an Ernie Banks for you. Look at that card.
Hey,
that's beautiful.
With the 89 design, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Looks like it's the 89 design, and then it says on it, 35th anniversary, so it's not 89, actually. I guess it is, 2024, 25. And then we've got, and can we just boo this card right here? Look at this. We got Matt Shaw. Just, ugh. Yeah. That. And then Bleacher Reachers. I would love to be one of the people at Topps just who comes up with the names of these cards. Here's a Ronald Acuna Jr. Bleachers Reachers card.
Is he? It seems like he's got an animal print on his, or is that just dirt? What is that on?
It's dirt. It is dirt, but it does look like it would be. Like I don't know why the dirt would be coming straight down like that. The way that it is.
Well, he slid head first.
Yeah, but only on one leg.
Only on one leg. You got a little bit on the knee on the other leg, but Ronald Acuna Jr. All right. So there you go.
Hey, so you pulled that Red Sox card. It reminded me the other day I was at a restaurant and I had my Lou Gehrig Day emblem sweater on, right? So I had a sweatshirt on that has this logo. It's Lou Gehrig Day in baseball. Was not a thing until a few years ago when there was a committee, because an ALS awareness committee that my brother was on.
Yeah,
and wanted to start Lou Gehrig Day in baseball, and Joe and everybody else, we kind of rammed down the doors of Major League Baseball and their front office and just said, we got to have Lou Gehrig Day baseball, right? And so the Lou Gehrig Day every year in baseball is fantastic, raises awareness for ALS. And I was at a restaurant and some guy comes up to me, Mike, and he says, "Hey, go Yankees," and like high fives, like gives me a high five.
No.
I was like, "Ooh, I don't know what to do here," because as a diehard Red Sox fan, this I can't really do that. I'm like, "Oh no,
can't return that." Yeah,
I was like, "I'm a Red Sox fan," and he said, "But you're wearing a Lou Gehrig. That's Lou Gehrig. Is the Yankees pinstripes?" I said, "Yes." I didn't want to get into the whole thing, but as a Red Sox fan, I wanted to say like, the nice thing to do, very Larry David style, is just high five and let it move on. Because then the more that you explain it, the more it's just, bogs down the conversation. I didn't know what to do there because I felt like as a Red Sox fan, I couldn't high five someone.
Oh, you 100% did the right thing. Your North Star on this is Ben Affleck, because when Ben Affleck was in Gone Girl, he is like sneaking around. And he has to go to New York for a second. And in the script, it said he's in the airport. He's trying to be incognito. and it said he was wearing a Yankees hat, and he was like, "I'm not doing it." And they were, and David Fincher was like, "Yes, you are. You're wearing a Yankees hat." He was like, "No, I'm not. I'm not wearing a Yankees hat. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it." And they compromised, and in the movie, he's wearing a Mets hat. And like that was the compromise they came to, and it's wonderful. And it's like, you look, if you don't stand on principle in moments like this, you know, you've lost everything. And so I think that's 100% the right move on your part. You cannot return a high five. I told the story recently, but the first baseball team my son played on was he randomly got put on the Yankees, and there was a moment where I was like, I'm gonna pull him. I'm gonna pull him from the league. I don't care if he never plays baseball. That's whatever. He'll thank me later.
The price you pay. Yep.
Yeah. Now eventually I gave in, but now I have a bunch of photos of my 7-year-old son in a Yankees uniform, and it drives me crazy.
That's what Photoshop is for.
That's right. Turn him into Pirates uniforms or something.
My favorite along those lines was when you got the Derek Jeter book in the mail.
Yeah. So my friend Max Greenfield, actor, used to be on New Girl in The Neighborhood. Very, very wonderful guy, very talented actor. Good friend of mine. When we first became friends, and William was same age, 7, and was getting into baseball. He had a birthday party, and Max came up. And Max is from New York and is a big Yankee fan. And as a joke for me, his present to William was a copy of Derek Jeter's autobiography.
Good kindling.
And William opened it, and Max started laughing really hard. And I said, "Ha ha ha! Hey, come with me for a second." I took the book. Max walked with me. I walked out my back door, around the side of my house, opened the garbage can, and threw the book into the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And it, to this day, is one of our favorite memories of our friendship.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's International Day here at 2017 Panini Prism card opening. We have Ersan Ilyasova,
the best charge taker of all time. His charges taken per minute was the highest on record. Yep.
There you go. Haberstadt. Nemanja Bjelica.
Yep. Nemanja Bjelica, not the next Nikola Jokic, but many people after Jokic started popping were like, "Oh, who's Nemanja Bjelica?"
I remember that. Yeah, that was the thing on him. I was like, "Oh, is this guy Jokic?" Speaking of Jokic, here's Jusuf Nurkic, which I have always felt like is the name that Nikola Jokic gives the cops when they catch him drinking underage.
Yeah. Yeah, Nurk and Jokic were in the same front court in Denver, and Nurkic was by and large the best player of those two, and then Jokic soon established himself as the greatest player in the NBA.
Then Jokic decided to be the greatest offensive weapon the NBA has ever seen. Wait, who is it? Who's now had? Is it Nurk has had 3 straight triple doubles? No, who's had 3 straight triple doubles in the last 3 games? Someone. Is it Nurkic?
It might be, because Nurk in Utah, they're just utilizing him as just Utah doesn't really have a North Star because they want to leverage their picks. But I can here. Let's see.
I think look it up, but I believe he may have had 3 straight triple doubles. Here's a silver prism. Speaking of international play, of Willy Hernan Gomez, who for a while, this is him on the Knicks. For a while, he was like a pretty effective offensive weapon, if I remember correctly.
Yep. And his brother also played in the NBA. Hernan Gomez Guancho, of course, the famous actor.
Is he Spanish? Where's he from?
Yeah, Spain. Yep.
He was on that Spain team that made they were like dominating FIBA for a while, right? Or at least they were like contenders every year, and every year there was an international FIBA tournament. I feel like Spain was always always in the finals.
Yeah, I gotta hand it to him. He was in that Adam Sandler movie.
He was really good.
Really good.
Yeah, he was a good actor. Yeah. And here's a Dame horizontal Dame card. This is back in better days for Dame Lillard.
Shouts to letter O, Damian Lillard, who's from Oakland, went to Ogden, Utah, Weber State, and then, of course, played in Oregon. So he took the number 0 and says it's actually a letter O.
Look at that.
Very fun.
This is a game, and finally a game-worn patch of Chris Dunn. So you see that patch is a little more interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a little
not
more,
a napkin.
Not a napkin. So we've got Towns, Chris Dunn, and who's the other one? A Harry Giles, which sounds more like a pop star, I would say, than a basketball player.
Harry Giles. Who among us has not gotten them mixed up?
Wasn't your original? This is the name this person uses when he gets caught drinking. Kevin Pillar. Weren't you convinced Kevin Pillar?
Kevin Pillar was the name that when Kevin Millar got caught by the cops drinking underage, they were like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Kevin," and then realized he'd made a mistake. And they were like, "What's your last name?" And he was like, "Pillar."
Pillar. All right, some really cool baseball cards here for you. Look at this Mookie Betts card. Look at that beautiful Mookie. Look at that.
We go.
Yeah.
Look at that. Just
Greatest
gorgeous.
living American.
Greatest living American. I don't know what the X and everything is behind him, but it looks great. Look at this, Rafael Devers with the Giants. There's
your update. There's your updated set.
Card. Okay.
How do you feel about Devers? What's your Red Sox fandom response to Devers?
Yeah, it was just weird that he wouldn't move off a third. That was my thing. Can he just take a little sacrifice there? And it felt kind of stubborn. So you just pulled two famously ex-Red Sox that it hurts in our hearts that they're no longer with the Red Sox and winning World Series.
Yeah. Both traded away by choice to save money. So there you go. I mean, you can blame them or you want. I mean, him if you want, but that was a total money drop. There's James Wood. Is James Wood going to be a superstar?
Boy, I hope so.
He's awesome, and I think isn't he 6'8"? Isn't he huge in the Aaron Judge? He's taller.
I believe he's taller than Aaron Judge. Also, if I'm not mistaken, James Wood and AZ Fudd, UConn legend, national champion, world champion AZ Fudd, I believe are like best friends, and maybe were prom dates.
That's delightful.
Yeah.
That is very delightful.
There was an article about that. If I'm not misremembering it.
All right, we got Doug Nikhazy. There you go, little Doug Nikhazy for you there.
Not to be confused with Doug Minkiewicz.
Not to be confused. Easier to spell. Here's Kyle Hendricks on the Angels. It blows my mind that Kyle Hendricks is still playing.
Wild.
Yeah, Kyle Hendricks feels to me like a guy that played like 50 years ago.
Who throws harder, Kyle Hendricks or me?
Who?
Yeah, I think it's actually
probably Kyle Hendricks.
Probably by a nose, I would say it's Kyle Hendricks.
This much. Yeah, but your curve is better though. Here's a just flat out Marcelo Mayo
Look
card.
at that.
Yeah. Speak it into existence.
I'm bullish, man. I'm still bullish.
I like it.
Yeah.
But here is a prize. Look at this. This is a relic card with, I assume, Yordan Alvarez's bat.
Very
Look
nice.
at this thing. Look at that.
Yeah.
So it has his bat, like a shard of his bat?
A shard of his bat. It says game used memorabilia. So game used bat.
So they started doing these patch cards a long time ago now, decades ago, and people just absolutely flip for them. And now different sets will have shards of a bat. They'll have parts of cleats. They'll have, their nameplate from their locker room. They'll have hats. They have gloves. Like there's every kind of insert card you can imagine. The trick with those is that because they have to be really thick, they're very hard to get good grades on when you grade them at PSA or Beckett because because they're so thick. They get damaged very easily. The corners get bent and stuff like that. So,
that looks good though. That one looks good. I think
that's pretty good.
Because they rattle in the case or something. Because it's
just because it's easier for them to be mishandled and the corners will get crunched down a little bit in a way they don't when they're lying perfectly flat in a pack or something.
Well, that's a card. I mean, that's
cool, man.
If you're an Astros fan, I mean, come on, donate some money. Let's go. All right, what do you got?
Got a silver prism Malik Monk rookie, which is pretty good.
Nice.
The collapse of the Light the Beam Kings is one of the saddest stories of the last 10 years in the NBA, in my opinion.
Every team should have copied that in some weird way. Like some light the beam, slam this giant cartoon button, and have a beam emanate from the top of your arena was one of the coolest things the NBA has ever seen.
So I have a friend named Nate DeMeo, who's also written about in the book a little bit that Joe and I wrote. Yes, and we like to do this thing annually where we go to a city, usually on the West Coast, but not always. And we go to an arena that we've never been to, and we see a team play that we've never been to. It started with the first Warriors season when Curry was like, when they started, whatever it was, 23-0. And we were like, we got to see this team play. So we went up there and we saw them. And then since then we went to a Portland Timbers match in Portland. We've been to San Diego. We've been to Colorado. We've been all these different places. And that year we were like, this is a no-brainer. We're going to light the beam. And so we went to Sacramento. We walked around Sacramento, explored Sacramento, went to the game. Keegan Murray went crazy. It was his rookie year, and he went crazy and had like 6 3-pointers in the first half. And they were up by like 18 in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes left. And not a joke, with 9 minutes left, they started chanting "Light the Beam." The entire crowd was chanting "Light the Beam" for 9 game minutes, which is like, 24 actual minutes.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. They started it. They kept going.
The crowd started chanting "Light the Beam" with 9 minutes left in the fourth because the game was out of hand. And I'm not kidding. When De'Aaron Fox lit the beam, I believe, or maybe it was Keegan. It might have been Keegan Murray because they chose one guy to do it when they won. It was the most exciting thing I've ever been a part of as a fan. And we walked outside, and there were 4,000 people outside just taking photos of the laser beam that was shooting into the sky. And it was just an absolute delight. And if that team if they weren't the Kings, if they were better managed and better run, and they had managed to like build on that team, they were a 2 seed that year. They took the Warriors to 7 games. I was such a believer, and I was so into Malik Monk and so into De'Aaron Fox and so into Keegan Murray. I bought 2 Keegan Murray rookie cards that year. I was really into them, and it's just the fact that they're now just back to being the Kings of old is such a bummer.
We're 50 games into the season. They have 9 wins at home, so they've only been able to light the beam 9 times.
But their fans are packed that arena, and they scream and yell, and they are so into that team, and it's they deserve better. The fans of the Kings deserve better. Here's a Josh Jackson rookie. What happened to Josh?
He's one of the biggest busts ever. Gotta say it. Sorry, but that card, he was what, 3rd? He went to the Phoenix Suns, and not great.
Here's a hilarious fundamentals card for you. Okay. It's James Harden. Now, if you had to make a list of the fundamentals that James Harden embodies, what would they be? Foul hunting would be a fundamental that he
step backs and falling on your 3-pointer to get a 3-shot foul.
Do you remember there were a couple times when I remember from like the late teens, maybe early 2000s, where Steph Curry would try a sort of half penetration step back 3 and get called for a travel, and he would do this. He would hold up a 1 and a 3 because he would be saying, like, if that were James Harden, you wouldn't have called it on me.
It's so good. It's so good. They have this like really bitter rivalry because of the way they're officiated. Is Steph always gets hit because he's so hard to guard that guys are trying, like 16 guys are trying to defend his 3-point shot, and he inevitably gets fouled. But for whatever reason, he doesn't get the 3-shot foul call, whereas James Harden has mastered it in a way that is so aggravating to anybody who has rooted for a team going against the Houston Rockets back in the day.
I don't think there's any player as an NBA fan who is a more intense combination for me of results on the court and, for me personally, a horrid watch than James Harden. Like I have hated watching him for so long. I hate everything about his game, and yet when you look at his box scores, you're like, well, this is one of the greatest offensive players in history. I cannot stand watching him.
Who would be the baseball equivalent of the greatest player to never have met a James Harden fan? Like there just aren't many fans of that player, you know? Like he could go down as a top 10 scorer of all time. And I've met maybe one person in my life who is a James Harden fan, you know?
No, there is a baseball answer to this question, by the way.
What is it?
There is a very specific baseball player who is not going to go down in history as like as great as James Harden, but really close. Borderline Hall of Famer, most boring, horrifying watch in baseball. Bobby Abreu. No question about it. It's Bobby Abreu.
Interesting.
Right? Just unwatchable. And then you look at his numbers, you're like, oh my God, that guy's great. That guy's a great player, but unwatchable.
I was gonna say Sheffield, but he was too exciting. He was too
Sheffield was not boring at all. No. Sheffield was not boring at all.
But I don't know what a lot of Gary Sheffield fans I guess the point.
It's just I feel like coming up there were Sheffield fans, you know?
Yeah, I don't think people. Yeah, I think he had plenty of fans.
So we're looking for just droning, boring excellence.
Boring excellence, but also annoying to watch. That's why, to me, Abreu is perfect. Abreu is like the guy. He's like perfect.
That's pretty good.
All right, I got some baseball cards. Or wait, do you have another one open?
I have an Al Horford fun. Now here's a fundamentals card.
That's a fundamental right there.
Al Horford. World champion Al Horford. There's
beautiful eyes. I've always been very attracted to Al Horford, and people are like, "What is it?" And I said, "I just think he's got beautiful eyes." Tito Horford, his dad played in the NBA.
Yeah,
also a second-gen NBA player. They're everywhere in the league now. So Al Horford, beautiful eyes, and if you want those beautiful eyes in your home, you can just get that card.
That's right.
It's there. It's there for you.
Or if you want a Fred Hoiberg card.
Who among us has not?
We all have already. We all have it and want it.
Well, you have a Fred Hoiberg poster on your wall, probably, but
yes, of course.
And also, I have to give a shout out to the great Brad Stevens.
With the arms crossed stance. Yep.
As much credit as Joe Mazzulla deserves, I think the way that Brad Stevens has run that team since he got kicked up to the front office. I mean, my goodness gracious.
What a weird, interesting life Brad Stevens has had in sports, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, was well on his way to being the Krzyzewski of college basketball, right? Could have had any college job he wanted in the entire country, right? And everybody thought that's what he wanted. I mean, the guy was at Butler, for crying out loud. I mean, like, that's like, oh yeah, that's what that guy wanted.
That's the dream.
And he went totally like, nope, I'm going completely in a whole other direction.
Well, also was an incredible coach. Like took several teams that had no business being near the Eastern Conference Finals to the Eastern Conference Finals or thereabouts. Then was like, okay, I think I'm done here, and became one of the best player acquisition GMs that the sport has ever seen. Like this team, which lost its best player to an ACL, traded Drew Holiday, traded Porzingis, and is still going to win 50-something games. And traded for Derek White when Derek White was playing 18 minutes a game for the Spurs, maybe, or was like 6th or 7th guy on the Spurs. Now Derek White is a borderline all-star player, having a shooting slump this year, but borderline all-star player, one of the best defensive players in the league. Wemby's going to win DPOY, but Derek White's going to get some votes for that. Like, everything he's done has been great and smart. Great drafter. Also, like, there's a lot of guys in the league who are playing meaningful minutes for other teams that are guys that just the Celtics couldn't use. Aaron Nesmith was like a first round draft choice of the Celtics and could barely crack the lineup, and then was a huge part of that Pacers run. Like, everything that guy touches turns to gold.
Derek White is the ultimate inspiration for one reason. He's a came home all-star. He had a horrible hairline and had trying to hold on to that hairline for the longest time.
Yeah.
He would have, it was a comically, if it wasn't an SNL skit, Mike, it should have been, is just like every year his headband got wider and wider to cover up his hairline. And then he gave in and said, I'm going to just shave my head. I'm going to shave my head. And he became an all-star after that.
And they won the title. That was the
title.
I have a friend who's convinced that the reason they won the title is because Derek White was like, "This is who I am."
Came home. He said, "You got to come home at some point. You got to admit, look, it's not happening." As Bomani Jones always taught me, you got to come home at some point and say, I'm going to give in. And once Derek White did that, the Celtics took off.
This is finally another excellent Lakers failure is Thomas Bryant.
Yeah.
Fantastic failure on their part.
Failure.
Another IU guy. Mm-hmm.
All right. Last pack of baseball cards. We got Christian Campbell for you right there. Look at that.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. You're still a believer, right? You're still a believer. Yep, still a believer. That's good. So this is like the Reds. It's Ellie De La Cruz, but it's there for some reason. It's called the Grand Giveaway. I don't know why that was the words that they went with that. It's the Grand Giveaway. So okay, that's what they went with. I just want to show you this Graham Pauley card because I mean that's a great card.
That's a good card.
If I was like a ball player, I would get so now there are a million different cards. But like back when there were like 3 options, I would be so excited to see what photo they chose of me. And if you got that sideways card where you can make a diving play, I mean that's
why you make diving plays is to be on a card.
On a card with that, exactly.
For some reason in the hobby, as it's called, horizontal cards not nearly as desirable as vertical cards.
It's so stupid because they're so much better.
I agree.
I mean they're better when they're special. If you just go with the horizontal cards, which has happened in the past. Remember the NFL? What was the football year that they were all sideways?
Oh, yeah.
That was not a good call.
Wait, here we go. Mike, wouldn't you say that the idea is that you want rarer cards are more valuable? Like
it's
the
just
novelty
that,
of getting horizontal would be more valuable, right?
Panini Flawless is the sort of archetype for this. Panini's Flawless, which ran from, Panini doesn't have a contract with the NBA anymore, but for the 10 or so years that it did, they were the ones who invented they sort of perfected the like rookie patch auto. And so the Flawless set, which is outrageously expensive and very desirable, has, they have base cards that are, they have out of 25, out of 10, out of 5, out of 3, out of 2, out of 1, whatever. And like a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander rookie Panini Flawless horizontal will be, half the price or 2/3 the price of an equivalent card if it's vertical. They're just, for some reason, the big time collectors just don't like the horizontal ones, and they're not as desirable as the vertical ones. I don't know why. My guess is that because what you want is more of the body of the player or something. So the horizontal layout means that the amount of the player you see is crunched a little bit.
Unless you're who is the player?
Unless you're going sideways,
Unless you're Dennis Rodman and this baseball player. Yeah.
Here are Crew Missiles. There's your Brewers Crew Missiles card. Very exciting. Is Cam Smith going to be a good player?
Don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Cool story. That I'll always remember that manager call or the in the dugout or the clubhouse when they told him he was making the show.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Fun. Very fun.
Jordan Walker's a good one too, if you've seen that one.
I've never seen that one.
On the Cardinals. Yeah, that's a good one too. It's very sweet. But also he's so huge that he's sitting in a chair in his AAA manager's office, and it's like it looks like when you go for a parent teacher conference and you have to sit in one of the little tiny kid chairs in like second grade.
But then the Cardinals, like, it was so great. That was such a cool moment. He got in, and then like 2 weeks later, the Cardinals like, yeah, you're going back.
And it was the same thing with Cam, where it was like, he might not actually be worthy of getting called up this early. Yeah.
Yeah, but Jordan Walker wasn't that. They just kind of were like, go learn how to play the outfield. All right. Is Roki Sasaki going to be good?
I think so. I think we can go ahead and say yes on that.
There's a chance that that's going to happen. There you go. Spencer Torkelson with a big comeback year for us. That was really nice to see.
It is very rare that a guy who is a hugely touted prospect, like kind of doesn't emerge, and then out. 3 or 4 years go by, and then suddenly that guy is good. I was really happy for him.
I was too. All right, so this is So Fabulous, the Phillies card right there. So Fabulous, PHA fabulous.
Sure.
Okay, you're a Phillies fan. I guess that might mean something to you.
Does Ellie De La Cruz, does he have a lot of grand slams, which is why he was? I'm still hung up on the grand.
You're still hung up on that. No, he does not. He does not have a lot of grand. I don't understand. I don't understand.
It was a moment where he hit one and they celebrated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a grand giveaway. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
If you've stumped us on this, then maybe you should rethink.
And then we got two. We got this Juan Soto card right here for the Mets. That's kind of fun. And then the old school Juan Soto card for the Mets.
That to me is that's the prototypical Juan Soto physical position of that.
Right. With the bat behind him. Yep.
Bat behind him, left knee almost on the ground, like left arm following through like that. Like, that is a home run. You've just watched him hit a home run on that.
That is 100% right. So there you go. There's your baseball cards that we're opening up.
Yeah, I've only got a couple more, and none of them are that special.
Okay, what do you got?
I've got Andre Drummond here. On
sure.
The, Pistons.
Yep. UConn.
Jawan Evans. What happened to Jawan Evans?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if there's a story there, but
he doesn't even have like a Haberstroh on that one. He's just like, nope, yeah, that didn't work out.
Here's DeMar DeRozan on the Raptors.
Debo, yeah, DeMar DeRozan.
One of my favorite basketball player quotes in recent history is when someone asked him a couple years ago now, I think, like, you know, whether he was going to like alter his offensive game, take more threes or do this or whatever. And his response was basically, there's only 25 guys in the history of this game who have scored more points than I have. I'm not changing anything. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Good for you, man. I like, if you're like top 30 all time in scoring in the NBA and someone asks you if you're going to change, and you like the temptation, that's like what you're probably told to do if you have media training is deflect and say like, look, I'm trying to help the team and blah, 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 blah. But he was just like, I've been playing for 16 years. I'm like top 30 all time in scoring. I'm going to take 18 mid-range jumpers per game. I'm going to hit 9 or 10 of them. I'm going to score 22 points and I'm going to go home and go to bed.
Yeah. I've got $200 million in my bank account to tell you that I actually am okay at basketball.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm good at basketball. Finally, first of all, Pat Beverly, one of the great villains in NBA history.
Yes. Yes.
Went to so many Clippers games where I just watched him drive other guards absolutely batty. Also, the creator of one of the great presser rants of all time, the Westbrook rant of Pat Bev got you all fooled, is one of the great. If you haven't seen that, Google, do a YouTube search or something for Russell Westbrook talking about Pat Beverly. It's really delightful.
It's amazing how much Pat Beverly has made it into the NBA lore by being just like a random role player. Yeah. I remember when they won the play-in tournament with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
He took his jersey off.
Took his jersey off and started crying. Like, it was so emotional that he just won the play-in tournament. They got beat by the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round, but you would have thought they won the NBA Finals. That's how much it meant to Patrick Beverly.
It looked like a celebration of a guy, I would say, who maybe won the Western Conference Finals. Not quite a full NBA Final celebration, but it was an outsized celebration for the moment in a way that only drove other players crazier. Like, that's right. Truly wonderful. Finally, Nate McMillan card. We got a lot of coaches here. If you were looking to complete your collection for any coach who coached in the NBA in the 2017-18 season, I'm the guy to talk to.
You got them all.
And finally, arguably the best athlete podcaster in athlete podcasting history, right, Jeff Teague.
Oh yeah.
Go Deeks. No one saw this coming. I can assure you, Mike, Joe, none of us who went to college with Jeff Teague at Wake Forest ever thought that he would be the greatest storyteller, most charismatic, funniest podcaster to ever walk this earth.
How many of his clips have gone viral now? I mean, it's like there's 15 of the funniest stories ever told about the NBA have been told by Jeff Teague in the last 5 years.
it is amazing. He's the Billy Miller. Just the batting average is insane on his ability to tell a great story that goes viral. And he's played with some like famous guys, but it's not like he's been on some amazing teams that had his story for days. It's just he's so funny. He is so funny.
Yeah,
it's so great. It's that Wake education.
That's right. That's right.
That's how it works.
All those years that he was there. Yeah.
All those years that he was there. I mean, I think that was what it was. So, all right. Well, there you go. So this is a wrap. I think you know, Tom, we now do this thing called the One Last Meaningless Thing to End This Meaningless Thing, where we pick one random something and just talk about it for a moment. And I will start to give you an opportunity to think one up. It could be literally anything. Yesterday, last week, I talked about these great recovery shoes that I got. They're like sandal slippers that are just so happy. They make me, I'm of an age where that's the sort of thing that makes me very happy. But I'm going to actually take today's to be something a little bit less meaningless. We are, as you know, this whole thing is to raise money for the great people at Team Gleason. And we got this very, very sweet video from Steve that I posted on the newsletter, my newsletter at joeposlanski.com. It's up on YouTube. I'll probably try to post it again. But it is so meaningful. It's very kind. He's thanking us for the very small amount that we are doing, which is just opening up baseball cards and joking about them. But he thanks us. But he's using this incredible device in order to talk. He's using this speaking device to speak, and this is part of what they're doing is getting people with ALS, advanced versions of ALS, these incredible devices, and it's just, you know, Mike and I have been doing this podcast now for 42 years, 43 years,
42 years this spring. Yeah.
This spring will be 42 years. And we've done so little that matters to anybody, including us. But this is when you see something like that and you realize that you can really be a part of something that can help people in a very meaningful way. Not to say that you know, we did things with the, you know, the Columbia ALS Center, and others that are doing research and incredible work. But this is stuff that is helping people today. That actually going out there and helping people today. Super meaningful. Anyway, it is teamgleason.org/podcast, and we're very proud to be a part of it.
Can I just say, so my mother had ALS and she passed away 2 years ago. And one of the things that happens with ALS is you lose your sense of autonomy because ALS, for those who don't know, Lou Gehrig's disease, it slowly paralyzes you, right? So every day that you wake up, you can't do something that you could do the day before. And it's this horrible, really just evil disease that there is no cure. There's no effective treatments. And so it is such a multifaceted problem that you do need research, but you also need equipment, which is what Steve Gleason really helps out with. And I'll tell you this story. My mother, so she was bedridden for the last couple of years of her life because she lost her ability to walk, and then you lose your ability to eat, and then you need, a port in your stomach that allows you to get food, right? And so slowly you lose some of your faculties, and it's really a hard thing to go through for not just the person with ALS, but their family. But one thing that the technology allows you to do is eye gaze technology, which is things that Steve Gleason and the Team Gleason does, is you can communicate via your eye gaze, literally looking at an iPad, and you can type on a keyboard based as a camera that watches where your eyes are. And you can, it's one of the most amazing triumphs of mankind is that you can track someone's eye movement and type with your eye gaze. And it is so important for people with ALS in those final stages because there's so many things they want to tell you, and there's so many things they want to share with you. And without that technology, without that equipment, you lose that communication with your loved one whose mental faculties are 100% there, and they would like to tell you things. And one thing, my father was the caregiver for my mother for the last few years there, and was there at her side all the time. And she no longer at the last stage could really type anything with her eyes. And my dad was always there. And the day before she passed, she typed out a sentence, 2 words or 3 words. I adore you. And she passed away the next day. And my dad always has that, is that my mother just mustered up the ability to type out on the technology, I adore you. And it was, I mean, to this day, it's one of the great, most magical things that my mother has ever been able. She could not type for months, and then the last day she typed that out. And without technology, without the things that Team Gleason does, you won't have those moments, because it's such an evil, diabolical disease that takes away all of that stuff from you, and your loved ones will have those moments, and your ability to communicate is huge. And so the technology to speak, or you can hear Steve Gleason talk now because of the technology to allow him to speak in his own voice. My mom used to tell me all the time how cool it is, because you get it used to be the Google voice, the standard default Google voice is now my mom's voice. And my mom was like, that's not my voice. But now technology through Gleason and Team Gleason, it would capture your voice. You would say, like, read a book, and then it would capture your voice. And then whenever you spoke, you could hear it in your loved one's voice, their actual voice, which is so cool. And it's things like that for those who are listening who don't understand why what they're doing is so magical and so important. Is it gives people their lives back in ways that this disease has stripped them of all of that stuff. And Team Gleason allows the money that they raise, allows people and their families to communicate and to get around, to use the bathroom, to take showers, things that we take for granted is so important for these families. So thank you for raising money for Team Gleason and all of the things that they do. This is the type of stuff that, when I think back on the last few years of my life, I just say, thank God for those who provide equipment and technology to help our families go through something like this.
Yeah, I think we completely blew it on the one last meaningless thing concept on this thing. This is all pretty darn meaningful, but it's so true.
I have one. Can I say one?
Yes. No. Now,
handheld hand faucets, like something like a faucet.
Hand faucets,
like the handles that you turn on with your hands.
Sure.
Because we just redid our kitchen, and we have this freaking thing that drives me crazy.
Okay.
Which is these new technology faucets that you can wave your hand to turn it on.
No.
It has a sensor that you wave your hand to turn it on. It has the handles, but now if you got stuff all over your hands and you're covered in pork grease or something like that, and you don't want to touch the handle, you can just wave your arm by the faucet.
Whoa.
And it drives me crazy. I'm like, can I actually touch the handles, please? Rather than having to dance in front of my faucet. Cause inevitably I'm like, can I just turn on this faucet, please? So I want to go back. I want to retro. Sometimes technology is great. Like
sometimes we take technology too far, is what you're saying.
Take technology too far. We need to go back to just, hey, I'm going to turn this handle and then water comes out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, Tom kind of already did this, but I was weighing the relative merits of, after that beautiful story about your mom, going like, my one last meaningless thing is, how do you think the Trailblazers are going to work Matisse Thybulle back into the lineup after he comes back from his right knee injury?
So good. It's so good. Let's leave on that. Is that question? I'll let people hanging, because maybe the next time I do this, I will answer it for you.
Yes, I think that's
good. So tune in. Keep listening to the podcast and find out at some indistinct point in the future how the Blazers are going to work Matisse Thybulle back into the rotation after he comes.
I think that,
right knee tendinopathy.
That is the cliffhanger of all cliffhangers right there. You're like, come on, when? All right, Tom, you have been awesome. This
I mean,
is
who's
so
he
great.
taking minutes from? Is he taking
It's
minutes
a great
from
question.
You're not. We're not spoiling it, Mike.
Is he taking minutes from Denny Avdia? I don't think so.
It's a great question and an answer that if we raise enough money, I will answer.
Okay, here we go. If we raise, as we are trying to do, $100,000,
yes,
Tom will come back on this podcast and he will tell everyone how he believes the Blazers are going to work Matisse Thybulle back into the rotation after coming back from his right knee injury.
I think even more than that. If we raise the $100,000, Tom will come back. We will do an entire Portland Trail Blazers podcast.
Oh, I love that.
Right? Just nothing but it'll be an entire. We will not even touch anything else. It will be just Portland Trail Blazers.
It's just going to be Donovan Klingon talk and Shaden Sharp appreciation.
But we're allowed to go to history. We can go back into Portland Trail Blazer history. But it will be
Rasheed Wallace hour, just an hour on Sheed. We will not lose any listeners on that.
20 minutes on Jeremy Grant. And also, like, how is Drew Holiday, how has he been for team chemistry? I think he's been great. Even if he hasn't been on the court, I think he's been really good for that team.
Well, you're not stealing minutes from Drew Holiday, I'll tell you that. I'll give you a little tease.
There you go. All right. So this has been great, Tom. You're the best. We will have you back to do our Portland Trailblazers thing because I know people are going to donate like crazy to get that podcast going. And this has been great. And we are actually, Tom is the first of a couple of really cool guest stars that we have coming up to open up cards. Tom, thank you. Mike, as always, thank you.
Thanks for having me.